Texas and lifestyle. He used to play ball with the Padres. He played hockey for the Lobos. Now they're crushing it in the real estate game. Together, they'll showcase the best of the Duke City. This is All About YouABQ.
Oh, that's right. It's All About YouABQ Season 2 wrapping up. Now, the goal of the show is to highlight the best of our city's industry experts in real estate, culture, and lifestyle so that you walk away with some value and feeling inspired. Now, the way we like to do that is to answer the questions you may have or interview the guests that you want to see. So we invite you to join the conversation. You can reach out using the hashtag up here, or you join our email list to get some timely tips about our community and real estate market. Hey, I'm Skip Adams, owner of Sold by Skip Real Estate Brokerage here in Albuquerque.
Grant Harvey, home loan expert.
And you might recognize Grant's Watermelons as the head coach of the University of New Mexico men's Lobo hockey team, but now he's absolutely crushing it in the mortgage space.
Wait, where have we seen this guy? Was it HGTV's House Hunters? Or was it because he was part of the top 2% producing real estate agents in the city?
Yes, both and both. Here's why you're going to want to stay tuned. Season 2 finale,
dude. Man, have we, gosh.
Yeah.
We really did a lot of Eppies.
Dude, time flies when you're just
We
sponsored.
call them Eppies in the biz.
You want to get on an Epi, reach out. You join the hashtag. Here's why you're going to want to stay tuned. Save the best for last. We're going to finish with some dessert. Amanda and Diane of Mrs. Sprinkle's Ice Cream Truck. Now, this is an old school ice cream truck with new school ideas. You're not going to want to miss this, so be sure you stay tuned. Grant will break down the mortgage minute, but then stay tuned to the end of the show. It's everybody's favorite
Skip's Tips.
Skip's Tips. Grant, there's been a lot going on in Albuquerque. You look at bigger cities around the area like Phoenix, LA, and some of the big issues that are coming up are having to do with water. So it made me think, what's going on with Albuquerque's water here? Because when people are relocating to our city, they understand that we're in the high desert, and that always raises red flags. So what do you know about Albuquerque's water? Where do we get our water?
So I know we check the aquifer, we check the levels, and I think sometimes the information I get might be a little bit antiquated. Last time I heard we were full. Then someone said we're at half. I think that because we're along the Rio Grande, it's up to legislation to decide, if Texas is getting more water than they ought to and stuff. So it's an ever-changing thing. I'm actually don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but you always, water's a shortage, and you want to figure out, where will you be? Like, do you want to be a ghost town? Are we set up for that? So what do you know?
Yeah, no, good. So it brought up some concerns. So Albuquerque's water supply is becoming more of a concern for a number of factors: population growth, climate change, and drought. Now, the city's population is expected to grow by 50% in the next 50 years, and climate change is expected to make droughts more frequent and severe. So Albuquerque's, most of our domestic consumption water comes from two sources: groundwater from the Albuquerque Basin Aquifer and surface water from the San Juan Chama Drinking Water Project. So San Juan Basin, they actually funnel in water into the Rio Grande, and it's processed that way. Now, Albuquerque is starting to take on measures to improve water. We're talking about implementing water conservation programs, but the city is building new water treatment plants to recycle wastewater and storm runoff. So in El Paso, I saw that they're recycling urine. This is true.
Then I'm moving to El Paso.
But they are recycling like wastewater, like toilet water. And so there's a treatment process you can do. It turns it right back into clean water and circulates it back into the system.
They do measures like this. There's big technology into creating salt water.
Desalinization. That's
that is going to have to be the key. I think we have, and I think, not to be so profound, but I think we have enough resources on Earth to maintain as long as we do it efficiently. As long as we're not wasteful. I think we have it all. I mean, I think we have. Yeah, everyone can be fed. That you can enrich the soil. You can have enough water if we just stop being so wasteful. So good.
Well, it's good because climate change is a real thing, and our aquifer is fed by melting snow from the Sandia Peaks. And if you've watched the Sandia Peaks over the last few years, I mean, they had to close the ski mountain because there's no snow. So that does raise some concerns, especially from people out of state that are, kind of focusing on Albuquerque as the last affordable city in the Southwest.
Yeah. So what do you think about this? You and I were talking about, and I almost bought a house with a swimming pool. And then you go, man, Grant, do you believe in this or not? Like, can you really justify a swimming pool?
Yeah, where are you going to park your jet? You know, you're gonna
yeah. So that's always a tough one. You always have to do some self-examination to go, okay, you have this concern, and you've got kids, right? Yeah, I'm a recycler. I'm green as can be, man. Some people make fun of me for being an environmentalist, but like, I think if you have kids, how can you not be focused on this? You know, they're dependent on our decisions. So.
Yeah. So as of right now, our water supply is good, and we've got smart people looking into it as ways to make sure we have water in the next 50 years. So
how am I going to do these?
Your watermelons.
Yeah. If they make me stop watering these, then I'm an outlaw.
You're going to finish third place. So let's talk a little bit more about the real estate market. I know that obviously interest rates are high. You want to jump into a little bit of the mortgage minute.
So I want to talk about non-occupying co-borrower. What does that mean? Oftentimes there will be let's give an example. A college student, 20, not making very much income, can get a parent can actually co-sign. It can be called a primary residence as long as the kid lives in the house and the parent can afford this mortgage and the other mortgage. There are some stipulations behind it. Sometimes you can't even put the college kid in there because he may not have enough trade lines. Trade lines are even a cell phone, car insurance, P&M. But if this kid does not have those 3 trade lines, then you can't call it a primary residence. So just keep in mind, if anyone wants to go put their kid into a house, the kid must have some sort of credit or transaction history, and then you can co-sign and be a non-occupying co-borrower. Sure, mortgage minute.
That's good info, dude. I appreciate that tip. And again, real estate related, we've been pitching our show, our reality show here in Albuquerque called Selling YouABQ. And the show is up and running, and basically what we do is highlight local real estate transactions, cool houses, backstories that have to do with Albuquerque. In the most recent episode, the seller was a nuclear physicist, and the other seller was a local artist here in town who's a published artist who does Southwest landscape, stuff like that. So visit us on YouTube. It's Selling YouABQ. And also, if you have a business that you want to feature, if you have anything to do with the home buying or selling process, whether it's mortgage, home inspection, you can always reach out. Use the hashtag above or give us a call.
Let's pump Duke City Inspections. Like, yeah, what a thorough, good company. And the thing is, maybe they cost a little bit more, but it's so worth it. Like they run an immaculate feedback sheet. So I think you fully know what you're getting. So I'm glad you featured them. They're good guys.
Yeah, they are. They're good. They've been a guest on the show as well. Here's why you're going to want to stay tuned. We're joined by Amanda and Diane of Mrs. Sprinkle's Ice Cream Truck to wrap up season 2
What you gonna do?
YouABQ. So stay tuned. This is YouABQ. Oh, welcome back to YouABQ, our season 2 finale, wrapping up. I'm Skip Adams, owner of Sold by Skip Real Estate Brokerage here in Albuquerque.
Grant Harvey, home expert.
We're joined today by Amanda and Diane of Mrs. Sprinkle's Ice Cream Truck. It's an old school truck with new ideas and just satisfying our sweet tooth. A little dessert to wrap up season 2. So Diane and Amanda, dude, so excited to have you guys here. Welcome to the show.
I'm excited to be here.
And here's what I love about you guys. First of all, bright, beautiful, and bringing the energy today. But a couple of local grown Albuquerque chicks.
That's right.
Yeah.
Born, raised, and stayed.
So Sandia High School.
Yes.
Look, I love that. So the show
is
careful. Okay, this don't get too carried
Well, Skip went to like 8 high schools, so what does he care?
La Cueva Bears is what I claim, though. I don't know if anyone will claim me. So here's, the goal of the show is to kind of highlight people from Albuquerque, grew up here. Why did you decide to stay? What is it about Albuquerque that kept you living here?
Definitely the food. family, and just the sunsets mostly, probably.
Yeah, we don't talk about the sunsets enough, and this time of year it's especially
Gorgeous.
fantastic because you get a little bit of the afternoon rainstorms.
Oh yeah, and then they have that kind of like cotton candy as orange.
And the clouds.
You know what's funny about this is I didn't realize how good we had it. I was just kind of in the phase, and I think everyone in their 20s just kind of takes things for granted. And then I just started to realize our mountains and our sunsets, and I'm like, this is beautiful. I don't know, maybe what's about being a young person, you're just so self-consumed, but you go, check it out. Like, look
Dude,
at
I
that
should have brought the
sunset.
video, but so we had a little rainstorm last week, and I have a 2-year-old daughter named Birdie, and so we were outside at the tail end of and there was a perfect rainbow.
I did see
and it
that.
was the first time she had ever seen a rainbow. And dude, her face just one of these like, oh my God, like what is this? A double rainbow.
That's the face we get when we drive in the neighborhood.
Yeah. So let's jump into it. Let's talk a little bit about Mrs. Sprinkle's ice cream truck, because here's the thing. You guys are bringing a new school flavor to an old school idea, and I think that people are very nostalgic for ice cream trucks going around the neighborhood. One thing to note though, when you say ice cream truck, I think of like a weird old creepy dude smoking a cigarette, like an old broken down truck. But you guys are a little different. Talk about it.
Yes, you are.
We get that a lot too when we drive up. They're like, "Oh, you guys aren't creepy." Like quite often too, especially the parents. Because a lot of times, like a lot of kids will just be running out on the streets, and we're like, "Where are your parents?" We actually had one kid say, "Can you follow me home?" And we're like, in any other like kind of vehicle, that would be a little creepy.
Yeah.
But so we pulled up to the house, and the mom was like, "Oh, you found them?" And I was like, "Well, he asked us to follow him home. We're sorry, but we did."
But also, what are you having for dinner? Can we
Right, exactly.
Can we just stay?
Yeah.
No, that's great, and I think we'll pull up some pictures of what the ice cream truck that you have, what it used to look like, and then the transformation that you guys put on it to bring it up to kind of a modern, more warm and welcoming feeling versus the old and creepy. Because I think you had a cool story in the fact that this whole talk about how this whole idea came to play out.
I was going to open a breakfast food truck here in Albuquerque, and I wanted to put a spin on it as well, like cool taco, like breakfast tacos and stuff. And so when I was looking for vehicles, it was hard to find something that I could drive like by myself because they're so big and boxy, and I don't know, they're just intimidating. So when I came across the red and blue ice cream truck, I said, "Oh goodness, that's like the coolest ice cream truck I've ever seen." So when I actually went to go see it, my brain was going like 100 miles an hour, and I was like, you know what? No more breakfast food truck. I'm going to be an ice cream lady.
Okay, let's talk about Let's talk about the
Here's
specs
the original.
on that day.
Here's the
All right,
original.
That's the original. But what year is that? It looks like a mail truck. Is
It's an old mail truck. It's
Do it. I know my mail.
You know males.
And through like insurance stuff, they're actually putting it under a military old mail truck.
Wow. But is that still the one you have now?
That's the truck I have now, but we redid it to more of like it's still vintage, but like pretty and classic style. It has like the green and the pink with the white stripes.
That's cute. Can I talk about, maybe I'm being so male right now, what kind of engine's in it? Like, what's under the hood? What's under the bonnet, as they say
honestly,
in
like
England?
I said, it's the weirdest thing. On the title, it says something like Jeep, and have you ever heard of a Jeep? Like, I don't know. Like
Jeep,
but then
no.
it's like an F8JC.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's
Okay, there we go. The
Right.
FJ.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Oh
it's,
yeah. Good.
yeah.
So it's an old engine.
It's
and
old,
And it
yeah.
doesn't seem like you really step on it. And what I've been told is when you do step on it, chocolate chips fly
Yes.
everywhere, right? So we don't step
Everywhere,
on it, right?
yeah.
So you don't want me driving that thing.
or you go too fast with no power steering. It's a little
Yeah. Okay.
like you're at David Buster's trying to
So
stay in the lane.
there were Instagram pictures that were put up, or
Yeah, so we'll take a look at the Instagram, because what I like about you guys is that you'll not just drive the neighborhood, you'll actually go out to events, kids' birthday
That's
parties.
cute,
You
yeah.
guys are actually for hire. So talk a little bit about the services you offer with Mrs. Sprinkle's ice cream truck.
So our most popular would be birthday parties for kids and adults. We actually had a fun adult ice cream party that was Guy Fieri's themed, and they were all dressed up. They all came out.
they all dressed up like Guy
Oh,
Fieri.
there's pictures on there. All of them. Like they had
I wish there were
mustaches.
pictures of that.
They're on Instagram.
Oh my
But
god.
last week we had a flamingo themed party, so we dressed in our flamingo outfits.
That's probably more
and, yeah.
acceptable than a gay
A gay pirate party.
A Guy Fiero.
So people just have fun with it, and then we do. We did the Albuquerque Heights Summer Fest. This weekend we have a doggy dash, not doggy dash and dawdle. We're actually in the doggy dash and dawdle, but this weekend we're at Long Leash on Life. They're having a private event for their favorite customers.
The doggy dash. Let's talk about that.
That's in November.
Okay.
So it's at the Balloon Fiesta grounds.
What happens?
It's like I think it's a 5K, 10K, and they have bunch of vendors, food trucks. They're having like dog costume contests and stuff. So we'll be there.
Sorry, it's at Balloon Fiesta?
Balloon Fiesta Park.
Oh, great. Okay,
And they do it every year.
Pet adoptions. And you can rent a dog to run with you.
Yeah, it's a really
That's
fun
cute.
time.
I'm not running, but I'll dress my Pomeranian.
Yeah, so we're gonna do competition too, and maybe
Yeah.
you can win second place again.
And we do a
I
lot of
won 2 first.
we do a lot of customer appreciation too.
Yeah.
So talk about that, because in our industry, we like to throw a lot of friends and family events. And I think one thing that you guys provide value in is that it's not a huge production. You guys basically, drive the truck up, and nobody's, have you ever been unhappy to see an ice cream truck pull up?
No, dude, they don't come around enough anymore.
Everybody is so happy to see you.
It's nostalgic.
It is.
Like we want that bomb pop. We want that,
So here,
That's it. Oh, you guys did a great remodel.
Thank you.
That looks lovely. What is that?
So-
Those
Yeah, what are you
are
looking
cake
at?
pops.
Okay. Those are Otter Pops.
So
Let
we
me ask
did-
you a question. Does anyone else cough when they eat an Otter Pop?
I do
Everybody.
Yes. No, I've said
is
that
that?
before, and people go, "I don't cough. I don't know what you're talking about." I'm like, "What do you mean?" I thought that was standard reaction. I always cough with Otter Pop. Do you?
Is it the plastic or the dye?
I think it's just the preservatives in there that just your lungs.
Right.
I thought they were organic.
Yeah, maybe Monsanto.
And we don't normally carry the otter.
That was our first.
I'm coughing.
You're right.
They already are doing it to me. Gosh.
That was our first community event right there. That was before we had the ice cream cone on top. That was the first rollout of the sprinkles.
That looks great.
So we actually gave away 700 Otter Pops for free.
Nutty
for
Buddies.
An Easter event that was.
When's the last time you had a
free.
Nutty Buddy?
Right?
You guys need to come around more often.
Well, here, let's talk about coming around more often, because one thing you don't realize is that as an ice cream truck, you have to respect competing ice cream trucks' turf. There's actually behind-the-scenes turf wars. Talk a little bit about that.
There is.
Yeah.
So we all respect each other's turfs. There's a guy on the west side and goes downtown. Super nice guy.
Never seen them, so you should shop by.
And there's also a nice family that owns an ice cream truck in Corrales, so they do Corrales in the valley area.
Cool.
And we stick to the Northeast Heights.
Cool.
And it's cool though, because we can't be everywhere. We can't be on the west side, we can't be everywhere at one time. So we just tell whoever calls us, hey, we got a guy on the west side, we got a guy downtown, we got a girl and her family in Corrales. So it's nice that we can
cute.
be
We
able to
pass
do
on
that.
the business.
And so we're all friends.
I love that.
Yeah.
But we all respect it too. So
Well, that's what you were saying, is that there's one hub where most of the vendors go to get their supplies,
Right.
their novelties, or their tubs of ice cream. So it's a good chance for you guys to meet up and kind of exchange notes about what's going on in the ice cream
Yes.
community.
yeah.
Yeah.
What I like about your setup, though, is that you're not just handing out the old school bomb pops that are, it's kind of a rip-off, they've been done before.
Right.
You guys have the ability to do some scooped ice cream.
We do scoops. We're actually known for our donut stuffed ice cream sandwiches. They're about that big, and you get to
Don't
pick
tell
what,
this
you
guy.
gotta
You
pick
got to do
what
18 Arroyo
donut
runs.
you want. And then with the summer, it was too hot to have the donuts in the truck, so we ended up going with the Sunday menu for the summer.
Yeah.
But we'll be rolling out a hot chocolate with ice cream in it this
Good.
winter.
No, I would like you to do a hot pocket with a vanilla ice cream in the middle.
Actually, that would be good.
Yeah,
That would be
you
good,
get,
a fried ice
pastry
cream.
puff or
What
something.
is this? So let's
This looks
get
like
into
a
this one.
strawberry.
Though. Yes,
You
this
brought,
one
you brought
looks-
some novelty
hold on.
products here as well.
Yeah. So
You
like
guys-
these are okay. So I just want to. I can't help it anymore. I got.
They're infused with.
They smell like
They're infused with
bubble
bulletproof.
gum?
Well, first they're bulletproof plastic.
Sugar cookie.
Hold on.
Sugar cookie and bubble gum.
We may run out of time in this
This whole
episode before I get up, but I used to be a lot stronger.
But so you guys, not just ice cream, you guys have, events you put on, but also talk a little bit about the flavoring of food.
No, it's,
Oh no,
it's soap.
It's soap.
What do you mean?
Well, what do you mean?
It smells like sugar
We
cookie.
were
smells
just talking
delicious.
about ice cream all the time.
No, this is the candy.
No.
No. This is the candy
we
part.
actually
This is
have-
what my mom used to do to me.
They're perfect for
No
washing
one told me.
their-
Okay,
He
I
missed
guess
the
they have a
warning.
soap
There's-
set up now.
There's warnings on the back of
We were
them.
talking
there
about
is a
ice cream.
warning.
We were talking ice cream for 18 minutes, and now I'm,
Homemade
soap.
novelty
I don't want to be
soaps.
rude, and I'm not going to spit this out, but
It literally says in bold, not for human consumption.
Well, we were talking about ice cream this whole time, and you know how I get. All right.
You know how I get.
Okay. This is still going in my mouth.
It doesn't taste like sugar cookie. Just smells like it.
Tastes like when I was 5 years old.
Tastes like you think. Tastes like you just said a swear.
childhood memory.
My
Right.
mom used to put liquid soap in our mouths.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's even
Make
worse.
it last.
Yeah.
Coats
Anyways,
the teeth.
yeah. So let's keep talking. I'll try to.
So here's one thing that I thought was interesting. So when it comes to having a food truck or an ice cream truck, what are some of the licensing issues, or what are some of the background checks you guys have to go through in order to, drive around and hand out food?
You have to have the food handling permit. You have to go through the fire department, which I didn't realize you had to get the, what are they called? Extinguishers. Serviced every year too. I didn't even know
Why
that.
is your truck more susceptible to being on fire than other people's?
It has the generator. You have to have one for the generator, and then you have to have one for the freezer.
Well, tell him you have enough soap
Right?
to make it through. We have the cleanest vehicle in Albuquerque.
Yes. Then you have the health department, and there's quite a few permits you actually have to have an ice cream.
Now, I would imagine there is some dude that has none of this, right? Some rogue guy.
I would say
that
90% of ice cream trucks
I was
probably
gonna say,
don't.
these guys don't look like compliance guys,
No.
when
No.
you look at them, they're just putting in their front 2 teeth.
So what is it? So do you guys play the classic songs over the?
We
Do
do.
you have a loudspeaker?
We do.
It does, yeah. It's very loud. You actually turn it down when people walk in front of the truck because they're all like
Like
Yeah.
the
yeah.
Oh, right.
the classic ice cream.
So anytime that the ice cream truck needs maintenance, I would imagine you can't just drive it to a normal Jiffy Lube because of the size, or is there
No.
like a whole
We
secret
have-
garage you have to go
it's-
to?
It's been all over Albuquerque's mechanics.
People know it.
A lot of
It's just-
people
Oh,
know
yeah.
it for sure.
Like we will
It was on a
never
tow
work on
truck
this truck
one
It
again.
was on a
It
tow
almost
truck,
killed-
and we were
It
featured
almost
on
killed
his
Tony.
towing page. Yeah.
Oh, you were featured on the towing page?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's good or bad for business?
It's
I
like
guess?
a unique towing page. I can't think of
Yeah,
his
no,
name.
but if you get like faulted for, that's not. Yeah, I think
Right.
it's cute. We got towed off. All right.
It ended up, we were on Alameda when the president was here, and we were stalled
was-
on the side of the road.
Yeah, it was.
And there was
I
so
trying to
much
wave
traffic.
everybody. It was bad.
Oh shoot!
So we had
Everyone,
to-
it's like a liquidation sale. Everyone, get over your things
ice
are
cream's
melting.
melting.
Half price.
And it's died in a neighborhood, and we actually had a very, very nice guy that lived in the neighborhood. He was buying ice cream, and it died in front of his house, and he pulled out the whole thing to look at the engine and gave
just
us a
replaced your
weird
tranny?
It was like
He's
a spray.
all-
It was like a spray.
He's all
yeah.
whoop, 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 whoop. You're ready to go.
Pretty much. And
Yeah.
he said that should get you home. And I
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
That should get you off
Good
my
thing.
property.
Yeah.
so we ended up treating his family to ice cream the next time we went through his neighborhood.
I love
that's
that.
cute.
Well, it's a good sense of community, and like I said, you guys bring about just happiness to anybody that hears
Yes.
the ice cream song.
I'm pumped up.
And kindness. I think that's another thing too, is that ice cream trucks are kind of known for just like, give me your money and that's it. Like, we're an entire experience anytime we drive up to your house.
I remember kids in my neighborhood being pumped up, right? You just remember kids running and,
Yep.
like,
Oh,
and
it's still like
warning
that.
each other, like, like that's wonderful. That's a cool
They-
thing. Like
the-
kids,
They hear the music and they run
they-
out.
that's great.
Even
I hope that
adults,
stays on
adults
forever.
too.
Oh, I keep running too.
The cutest thing ever happened the beginning of summer. This little kid is running down the street with his, I think, sister, and he had a garbage bag in his hand, and he stands in front of the ice cream truck with the garbage bag, and I'm like, what is that? And he was like, I didn't want to miss you guys. I was taking out the garbage. And he had a big old garbage bag that he was taking out in
Yeah.
front of the truck.
Yeah, I thought it was just full of bag of money.
Right,
I will
right,
take
I was
700
hoping.
of your pom pom.
I was hoping so,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I don't know. I think Miss Sprinkles and just ice cream in general brings just happiness and kindness. Just last weekend we were out, and we go through the same kind of route, probably once every 2 weeks. And this older gentleman has all his grandkids there every other Sunday, and there's about 12 grandkids. So they all line up on the curb. It's so cool. So we actually caught them at the park this last weekend, and little boy saw that we sell dog ice cream. That's one of our biggest sellers is dog ice cream. And the little boy is whispering to his grandpa, and he was like, Grandpa, can I trade my ice cream for the dog ice cream so I can give it to whatever his dog's name was? Like,
Sparky.
Yes.
Right,
Yeah.
it was so
Man,
cute.
come by. Yeah, you guys need to roll by my
So
place.
I was
I'll
just
give
like,
you way
we're
too
giving
much
them
money.
out for free today. So we ended up giving him the
I
dog
think
ice cream.
that's where you make the money, because that's a perfect shareable moment on social media
Right.
or
Right.
UABQ.
Right.
Speaking of shareable things, we didn't get a whole. Let's talk about who you're wearing today. So show us the earrings if you haven't been able to see. That we got.
So these are actually a fun story too. When I actually was looking to design the truck, I was searching cute ice cream trucks, like vintage ice cream trucks, and I ended up coming across this lady in Florida, and I loved the look of her truck. I actually messaged her and asked her if I could kind of copy the look of her truck, and she was like, "Oh, like that'd be wonderful. I would love that." Like she's like, "You're so spunky," and it's cool. So she ended up sending me these earrings with a really nice good luck letter.
I love that.
It's
And then
really
you have
cool.
the barrette going, or
Headband, yeah.
the headband. And then look, we got this new couch, and we, but I think it really the centerpiece is going to be the shoes. Let's get a look at these shoes.
Yeah,
Yes.
look at
Yes.
the turquoise popping off. Right
Yeah, there we go. Look it up on the screen. So those are custom. Where'd you find
No,
them?
when I saw them online, they said "kids, hey dudes," and I was like, I looked at my husband. And I said, "What size would I be in a child's youth?"
Hey, dudes.
Hey
Yes.
dudes.
Do you
They're the
remember that
most
show on
comfortable.
Nickelodeon?
Hey, dude.
Yeah.
No.
Well, anyways, we decided to put a little bit of money back in the show and buy this.
Yeah, we got this couch. We were jumping on it earlier.
I had
It's
an extra
just
$5.
doing a stress test.
It's very comfortable.
It is very
Oh, thank you. You know what's not uncomfortable is this soap that's stuck on my right arm.
in your teeth.
It's still there. I want to be polite, but I am going to spit this out next segment.
Listen, you guys have been fun. So we're going to have links to your Instagram and your website. Talk about, though, so for booking events, we just go to the website?
You can email me at missprinklesicecream@yahoo.com, or you can call me as well.
Okay,
Awesome.
wonderful.
So we'll have links to that.
Or
we will
Instagram or
use
Facebook as well.
We will use you for our events.
Cool. That'd be
Cool,
awesome.
that'd be great.
We'd love to.
Yeah, of course. Some
I need
cross-promo.
some more soap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need a shower. Amanda and Diane of Mrs. Sprinkles Ice Cream Truck. It's an old school truck with new ideas. I encourage you to check them out on Instagram. And dude, awesome having you guys. Thanks for bringing the
Thanks
energy.
for having
And
us.
thank you for the soap. Thank you for
You're
telling
welcome.
us it was soap.
Yeah.
Before you
I'll
fed
put
it
the
to your
warning
kids.
labels a little bit bigger for adults. Those are for children.
I
but
can't read, so
For knuckleheads.
I can't read, so it doesn't matter.
Coming up in the next segment, here's why you're going to want to stay tuned. It's everybody's favorite Skip's Tips, wrapping up season 2.
I wish bubbles would come out of my mouth. This morning. Welcome to segment 3. Thank you for Mrs. Sprinkles for coming by here. Also, I need to shout out to my former guest, Chipper Doherty. These are where I got these fantastic first place winning vegetables. So shout out to you. But now we're going to get into the much anticipated marriage saving Skip's Tips.
Of course, Skip's Tips are anything that saves us time, makes us more money, or allows us to have more fun, whether that's in real estate or real life. So are you surprised by your home's value? Here's 5 things that appraisers look for when doing your appraisal. Size, quality, features, updates, and of course, location. The size of the house is important, so if you want to add square footage, typically it'll add value. Unless you're enclosing in a patio or making a sunroom that doesn't add heated square footage. In fact, that typically will decrease the value of your home, especially in buyers' eyes. The quality of the home and the quality of the projects or updates in the house. If you're a DIY master, that's great, but be sure that the quality is done so it doesn't reflect DIY work. Appraisers are keen to projects that have cut corners, and that can cost you. Let's talk about features of the home. Does the home have a fireplace, a view, an improved backyard with lush landscaping? These are all things that are going to add value in the long run. Updates. Modern updates to the kitchens and bathrooms will have the biggest increase in value when doing a home appraisal. So be sure to spend the money there and you'll be sure to get that money back. And location. The location of the property in proximity to transportation, shopping, and other amenities is what's really going to drive the value. Those are 5 things that our appraisers are looking for when they do your appraisal. If you have questions about the market value of your home, leave a comment in the section below. Oh, share this with a friend and tell them Skip said so.
Those are good recommendations. Here's something we talked about before. Here's something that most solar people try to tell you, is that if you add solar, it's going to add to the value of your house. It's not true. It should, but appraisers still nowadays are not giving you extra $25,000 for having solar. It just doesn't register. So, if it's something you want to do, pay for it, but don't expect you to get that back at the transaction.
Yeah, especially if you have a $20,000 to $40,000 lien on those solar panels, you're definitely not going to make that money back on a short sale.
I'm as green as they get, but I also know that if I'm going to take on solar, I'm not going to make it someone else's problem. So great value, but appraisers don't say it.
Anyways, hey, that's season 2.
Oh my God, we wrapped it up. We did it again. We did it again.
I would like to thank this blue couch for saving the episode.
Yeah.
It's very spongy. We walked on it with our shoes.
We just punted.
Yeah, we were doing WWF on it. Yeah. Great episode today. You guys are going to not want to miss season 3. We got some big things coming in.
We can't even tell you.
Yeah, it's all in here.
Yeah, all in here in my soap mouth.
Season 2 coming to an end. This is all about you.
ABQ.
ABQ.
Thanks for staying with us.
Yeah.
You're watching YouABQ.